Hey beauties, it's me, Brenna, the makeup mommy. We're doing an eye look for you, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm using and how I did it. First, I'm applying the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer. Just a dab will do ya on both eyelids. So we're going to go ahead and blend that in. Just tap it in, let it set for a second. Going in with the Nomad palette from Juvia's Place. It's a very fall palette. And we're going colourpop palette too, the Sunflower. Using that center shade for a transition shade, just to get the base down. Blend it in with a fluffy brush in the crease. Windshield wiper motions, and circular motions. Just keep it centered to the crease. And blend that out nice. And that kind of just sets your primer. Going into Juvia's Place again, or for the first time actually, sorry. Just deepening up that crease. Blending. You know, you gotta do a lot of blending. Yep, making sure it's all blended. Didn't realize maybe I didn't need all this in there. I've already done a lot of editing. It's my first edited movie for my YouTube channel. All right, we're going in with that army green. I'm going in with a flat crease brush. You want to make sure that you put the shadow on both sides, tap off the excess. And I'm just focusing that right literally on the crease, like putting it right there on the crease and pushing it in there. I don't want to go too much higher than where I already was with the first shade and second shade. So you just push that in there, and you want to be sure you place the color or the brush where you want the color to be the most pigmented. And then you can blend it out from there. Just be sure you don't put the brush with the color on it wherever, just focus it where you want the most pigment. It's a little late. I'm sorry. I'm a little groggy and tired. Everybody else is in bed right now. This is my first tutorial with a voiceover. I'm feeling so official. I got myself a ring light. You can actually see the colors that I'm using. I'm blending it out kind of like in a wing, kind of buffing it out into a wing, smoking it out. It's not clean looking. It always looks like a mess before it looks better. You gotta just trust the process. And you can always fix mistakes too. Makeup is a beautiful thing. Look at that. Going in with a little foundation brush just to kind of clean it up a little. Deepen it up a little bit more. Probably going back in with the army green. And this look is really simple. It involves 3 or 4 colors with that shimmer shade. Yeah, just kind of circular motions to get that fanned out wing, smoky wing look. Keep your brush angled pointed upward. If you point it down too much, you're gonna get that pulling that shadow color down too far. And I mean, we are gonna bring it down to our water, under the eye. All right, going back in with that first. Or no, what is that color? Oh, it's like a charcoal gray. Making it a little bit smokier. And Juvia's Place palettes, man, they just blend beautifully. They blend into each other so well. And notice we really didn't use that ColourPop palette except for the transition. Probably didn't even need to use it. Yeah, I could have edited that part out. You can't even see me doing anything. Alright, here we go. I'm just going in with I have a little bit of leftover foundation on that brush. Nothing new, just foundation from earlier. And I'm just pushing it across the bottom of my eyes to kind of make that wing a little cleaner. Use the blending brush, buff it out a little bit more. You know, it's always good to do your eyes first before foundation. I'm not that skilled to where I can avoid getting foundation on my eyebrows or my eyeshadow. This was just a look I did at night, so I had already had a base on. But of course, my blush and everything else had already worn off by then. Just darkening those colors up, using the same 3 shades that I probably showed you guys already. That green was a very nice, kind of like a gray green. And then I just grabbed a concealer brush. No new concealer on it, just leftover concealer from earlier that day, and just kind of cleaning up the edges. Oh, deciding on a lid color. That gray is really pretty. It's very dark though, so I think I go for that champagne-y gold. Use makeup wipe. Yeah, it doesn't matter because I was about to wipe it off anyway. But you can do this if you don't mind reapplying your foundation or your concealer, which you'll see I do later. I think I said makeup brush, I meant makeup wipe. Cleaning it up with a wipe. All right, and I'm using my finger to tap on that shimmer shade. Be careful if you have mature eyelids. I have wrinkles on my eyelids. To not press too hard or sweep it too hard on there. You will create wrinkles and lines, and that will just emphasize the texture in your eyelids when you're doing that. So it's just better to tap on that shimmer shade so you don't get that overly textured look on your eyelids. That's my pencil brush, using a pencil brush, going in on with those 2 shades that I used at the top in the crease, and I'm bringing that down to the lower lash line. Smoking out the lash line, bringing it into the bottom, from the bottom to the top. Connecting the top and the bottom shades. That's what I'm trying to say. Kind of creating a wing. Oh, excuse me. It's past my bedtime, folks. I'm determined to finish editing this movie, though. We're so very close already. I figured this might be easier to do a voiceover for my first edit. I already took pictures of the look. I've been doing live videos, and I'm just tired of them being 2 hours long. I'd like to have a tutorial be 15 minutes, like an average. Oh, there we go. We got our double trouble eyeliner. I got the thicker side to kind of get the tight line, or the lash line, marked out how thick I want it. Flipping it, going to the fine tip, where it'll give me more control. This pen, it's like a felt tip. It looks like a marker, or a permanent marker, but it is the best eyeliner. Opposed to my gel, not opposed to, I guess, instead of, I like my gel pot liner too, but if you're looking for like a liquid pen liner or something, then this is a really good one too. The gel ones are good, I don't have patience sometimes for them. And they tug a little bit too, depending on what kind of brush you're using. Liquid liners, no, those are for when I'm being lazy and I don't want to make much of an effort. Like a liquid liner with a like a felt, not felt tip, but a brush. So I have like my Wet n Wild waterproof. That one I could just sweep on 2 or 3 minutes it takes max for both eyes. This one, I feel like I have to finesse it a little bit more, but it gives me a very different look than my Wet n Wild liquid liner does. Going in for the wing in a minute. Y'all ready for the wing? Here we go. Pull it straight down to the bottom corner and just drag it in and connect. This time I went for a very thick wing. I had seen it in a Pinterest picture and it intrigued me and I wanted to try it. So here's me trying a very thick wing. I'm only showing you one side. I do the same thing on the other side. I'll tell you, that's probably one of the most tricky things for me is making my eyeliner match. They just need to be related. I just want them to be sisters, cousins even. First cousins, please. They need to be related. Eyebrows, eyeliner, they need to be related. I had already done my eyebrows, but they probably could have been touched up. Using my Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner, 99 cents. Thank you very much. It does a very good job. Oh, see, yep, told you I was bringing out that concealer. Since I used that makeup wipe to clean up the edges a little bit more. Brighten up the eyes. Just be careful not to go to the shadow that you had already just put up there. That brush that I'm using, it's an e.l.f. buffing foundation brush, and it's awesome. Oh, fixing the wing. I guess they weren't sisters. They probably were cousins, and I made them sisters. Colourpops. What is that? Shock Shadow? Super Shock? In the color Flower Child. I'm using that as an inner corner and a brow highlight using a sponge tip applicator. Those things are good for something. They come in every single, 3-pan CoverGirl eyeshadow palette, and nobody ever uses them. They're great for super shock shadows or shimmer shadows. If you don't want to get them wet, it's a great alternative to getting a shadow wet, which I find can also make your shadow harder, a hard pan, if that makes sense. It'll just not perform as well once it's wet. Looking for a lipstick. Oh, no, blush. I thought I was looking for lipstick. There it is, the blush. This blush palette, 6 blushes for $5. And they're so pigmented. And this color Splendid that I'm using, it's like a yellow-orange. But when you put it on the cheek, it's just this beautiful, corally pink shade. Gorgeous. Like a natural glow. Juvia's Place highlight. This is in the Nefertiti color. I didn't realize they had made another one called Heroine. And that one is so much brighter. Probably closer to what I could have used for my skin tone. But I must say, if you use this very lightly, blend it in very well, I think it's a beautiful highlight. Very gold. So I like to use it when I have a very yellow or brown or gold look. Focusing it there on the higher parts of my cheekbones, right there on the higher part of my nose, just on the tip of my nose, the Cupid's bow, and right there on my chin. I used a fan brush for that. Then this is the Milani not quite sure. I can't remember the color. But it's a cream lipstick, and it smells delicious. So smooth, so creamy. It's a very beautiful metallic-y brown color. Also, you can't beat the price, $5 for lipstick. I can't see the shade because it has my recording thing in the way. But that's it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed my look. Have a wonderful day.